it's not like your regular high street shop, I don't think.
You don't follow the normal structure of a bike shop.
Hi, Sam, Charlie. Welcome to the O2 Academy, Brixton. Delighted to have you here today. To kick us off as co-founders of SeaBass Cycles, tell me, where did that idea come from and what's a typical day in the life of SeaBass Cycles for you guys?
So I think we opened the shop because we both had a passion about bicycles and we lived in the area for quite a long time, and we could see the way the area was changing, different people moving to the area, and we could see Camel Church Street was the right place to have a bike shop because there was nothing there at the time. As the company's grown, we've opened a second shop, but the day-to-day running, we service a lot of bikes, we sell both off the shelf.
Yeah, it started mainly as repairs. So in our Camberwell shop, we had space for maybe 5 bikes for sale, and we just used to. Our main thing was just to repair bikes. So we were closed on a busy sort of cycle route. Closed that one and opened our other shop where we went into just new bikes.
Just do new bikes. You have a much bigger space. You have, I think, 45, 50 bikes out on the shop floor, a much bigger workshop. But that's it. As the company's developed, we've kind of taken different roles. Yeah. We both started fixing bikes and just doing that. Now I kind of manage and run the workshop. Sam does a bit more sort of the admin and bookkeeping side of things.
And you mentioned you're now onto your second bike shop. So how have the challenges kind of changed as you've gone from starting a bike shop to then running 2? What's that journey been for you? You
see the overheads go up, trying to keep control of staff, what they're doing, purchasing for the shop. Customers get a different feel for the shop, different to the one that we've set up.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the hardest things is kind of keeping a uniform representation of the business.
So how do you do that?
It's just trying to find the right people, which again in itself is really hard because you can employ someone initially and they think they're good, but then a few months down the line you realise they start slacking or they're not quite right for the company, but kind of then it's too late. You can't really just fire them because you don't like them, So.
Yeah. Have you changed your approach to that over the last 5 years?
Definitely. I mean, we used to hire friends to begin
that's
with
the big
because we thought it would be easier because it's the people but then what you realise is friends is the wrong relationship, and hiring just strangers into your business is much better in the end.
And how would you say, so going from, starting a bike shop to, running 2, what are the kind of the key challenges that you've seen for yourselves or in the business over that 5-year period?
Organisation is one. When we first started, we weren't business-minded at all. We worked in bikes. We knew bikes, and we knew the bike industry, but we didn't know business as such. So the main thing has been getting to grips with that.
Yeah.
But it's the growth as well, having more staff. The communication is really key. Yeah. When the shop was just a couple of us and it was small, everything was kind of in our heads. We just kind of did it as we went along. When you start employing more people and you've got 2 premises and it's a much bigger operation, you have to communicate with each other. Otherwise, if I'm not there one day, people don't know what's going on.
We didn't have any staff to begin with. We were just there every day, which was easy on that sense of keeping track of everything, but it's not sustainable to be there every day.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear every day about the challenges of being on the high street. So how do you go about kind of, driving footfall, attracting customers into your stores?
Keeping the shop interesting and a friendly environment. Both of our shops, they're very relaxed. We're not a very formal company, and I think customers really appreciate that. It's not like your regular high street shop, I don't think.
You don't follow the normal structure of a bike shop as such.
Or like a general high street shop you generally see on the high street. We try and do things a little bit differently, and I think that's quite an attractive thing for customers.
Give me an example.
Remember customers' names.
Just trying to keep it personal, I think. And you almost generate friendships within the customers.
Yeah.
We try and have a bit more of a personal touch.
Yeah.
And I think remembering customers' names, it's like a really small detail, but it means a lot for the customer.
And how have you managed that, as you say, as you've expanded, as you've grown, as your customer base has grown? How do you ensure that those little things that really make you different and deliver your experience, stay true? How have you kind of scaled that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a bit of hope that the staff you employ,
and
represent you.
The staff get onto the same level that we are. Once they've been there for a little bit, they'll see how we work and the way we work, the way we talk to customers, and they'll sort of relay that on as well. Just work the way that we work. Business isn't a kind of a linear process. Growth is full of ups
ups and downs. What's that journey been like?
Stressful.
Yeah, very up and down.
Yeah, many ups and downs. Like the first shop we opened in Canberra was very small. The rent was extremely low, so that was quite easy to operate. The shop we just opened a year ago, it's maybe 5 times the size of the original shop. So it's just been stressful. The overheads have gone up massively. We did a few sums and we thought, this can work if we sell this many bikes and fix this many bikes and sell this many lights. But, it's just guesswork and you can't make people come through the door. It's just you hope that being there and having the name and a good reputation sort of makes it work, but it's all a bit of a gamble.
And you mentioned stress and, kind of well-being and health. I guess running a cycle company, you're selling that actually to your customers. But how do you manage that kind of between yourselves in terms of making...
You can't, yeah.
I'm not the same as I was when we first started.
Stress levels are pretty high. I think quite a lot of the time we're very tired, but it's all kind of worth it, I think. I couldn't imagine working for anybody else now.
It's getting to a point where you can hand out some of those responsibilities to people. Like when you first start and it was just me and Charlie, we had no staff, started distributing some of those responsibilities.
Take some of the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Just kind of take a step back.
Which again is a challenge in itself and stressful. We've been through quite a lot of staff.
We're quite picky, I think.
Yeah.
So how, as founders, as you say, when you started out, you were experts in bikes, but your own admission, not necessarily in business. So how have you gone about developing your skills in marketing, in finance, in people?
It's taken quite a long time, and we still make mistakes to this day.
Yeah, being in the middle of it, you have to learn. And that's it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I didn't really know the difference between gross and net profit when we opened. I had no idea.
Yeah. So having the scars of that experience now, what would be your 3 top tips for someone thinking about going in and, either on their passion or they've got a great business idea?
The business plan.
And sticking to it, we rewrote a business plan before we opened, but we never looked at it again.
Get a good accountant.
Getting a good accountant, and because that can cost you a lot of money with fines if you don't submit your books on time and stuff like that, and being on top of finding receipts and invoices. It seems simple things, but things that are easy forgotten about.
So what role would you say technology's played in your business?
Quite a lot, because in the beginning we just did, everything was done on pen and paper. Like we obviously had computers, so we did like ordering, everything, stuff like that, emails, that was done through a computer, but we didn't have a till system, everything was done on pen and paper. And now we've got 2 shops, more staff, we need to be able to control and manage money and see what's being bought, what's being sold. So
help to keep track of everything, but then it goes back to the staff. It's only as efficient as the person using it.
That's great. And what does the future hold for SeaBass Cycles?
No more shops.
Early retirement. I think we'll see, the first shop I think within maybe it took us 4 years to get it to a point where we had the right procedures in place, we had a good team to run it. So hopefully in a few years' time, our new shop can be like that, where we have a good team that run it, we can take a step back from the business.
And how would you go about identifying where the right place is? So it sounds like location is hugely important in terms of where you...
Location is key. I think it was easy for us because we've both lived in the area for a long time and we've seen... I've lived in Canberra for 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah, look at what's happening in the area and doing a research on the actual area and the spot where you're thinking of being. I mean, we did a head count of cyclists a year before we opened the shop.
I sat there and I saw late spring, so early summer, warm afternoon, and I counted 100 cyclists every 10 minutes.
And just finally, the name SeaBass Cycles. I love it. Where did that come from?
It's the name of my dog. I think
it was my idea. We were sitting around one evening before we opened the shop, having a beer, thinking what do we call it? We agreed we were going to do the shop, and we were what do we call it? And the dog was there, and I was just I don't know, SeaBass Cycles, and it had a ring to it, and we managed to get some good branding out of it as well. And I think our logo is pretty strong, and it works. It works nice.